internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well,
it's very different. And I've been out in Silicon Valley for about 20 years. The thing that's very different about what's happening now versus the dot-com bubble is the dot-com bubble, it was the institutional investors who were in, and then retail came on top and priced things up. The exact opposite has happened here. You have retail and kind of speculative interest already in the market, and now you have institutional money starting to come in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's episode. This is the only video you need to watch to understand what's about to happen with XRP. Forget the charts, forget the speculation, and forget this whole next bull cycle talk. Because this isn't a coin that pumps and dumps with the market. This is infrastructure, and we're about to see it go live at mass scale. Remember, this is the foundation of the largest liquidity network humanity has ever built, and it's designed to keep scaling forever. Strap in for today's episode because we're only going to go over facts, and anybody that tries to dispute these facts when we have, the receipts from the BIS Innovation Hub, Trust Bridges, and Money Floors, when you listen to what they say here, it's game over. I mean, it is game over. And you guys have heard Sergey from Chainlink, the co-founder of Chainlink, say this.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what people need to understand. I'm not talking about another trillion. I'm talking about quadrillions.
So if he's publicly coming out here so with passionate saying, no, it's not trillions, it's quadrillions. What do you think is being discussed behind those closed door meetings? And we're going to go over the whiteboard. Like I said in yesterday's episode, we're going to cover it because this is monumental. And before I break it down, I want you to keep one thing in your head while I go over this information. The XRP ledger has something called the auto bridging. I'm going to read this out. Listen very carefully because it's going to complement really well with what I'm about to say. Any offer in the XRP ledger's decentralized exchange that would exchange two tokens could potentially use XRP as an intermediary currency in a synthetic order book. This is because of auto bridging, which serves to improve liquidity across all asset pairs. By using XRP when doing so, it is cheaper than trading directly. This works because of XRP's nature as a native cryptocurrency to the XRP ledger. Offer execution can use a combination of direct and auto-bridged offers to achieve the best total exchange rate. And even when David Schwartz said when XRP does the pathfinding, it'll go for the most liquidity.
It was built to support any type of asset, crypto or fiat, issued to trade on the DEX. Bringing more credible assets on the DEX, like RLUSD, drives direct and indirect benefits. For example, it drives more trading volume, which natively uses XRP as a bridge asset through auto-bridging and generally benefits users, developers, and apps. A unique feature of the XRPL DEX is that auto-bridging utilizes XRP as the native currency to facilitate trades between any two assets on the ledger. It automatically considers XRP as an intermediary to find the most efficient trading route across assets.
Right? And what's crazy about that is when you go into this PDF from the IMF with the BIS, they're talking about the exact same thing. They're pretty much telling you. They say that liquidity in the foreign exchange market is a key factor of success. The currency pairs traded on the marketplace will naturally gravitate to those offering most liquidity. I repeat, the currency pairs traded on the marketplace will naturally gravitate to those offering the most liquidity. It gets even better. Moreover, central banks could participate in the foreign exchange markets to provide further liquidity, especially where markets are thinner to start with, those exotic corridors. Also, the foreign exchange market can be designed to draw lessons from DeFi, such as building liquidity pools in order to broaden participation. That is insane. So here's the thing on a side note, SLT or LUSD. SLT XRP, we could, as a community, create a really deep liquidity pool. You got to understand that this is an open market right now. And anything that starts with a trust-based ecosystem is going to do wonders, because we could provide the market stability, just like how Ripple and XRP have done. And now you're seeing the IMF doing the textbook play, and they're telling you that it'll naturally gravitate to those offering the most liquidity. And it gets even better, because remember, an important question is who builds and operates such marketplace? Look where we are in 2025, okay? And which rules will govern it? Look, we're getting everything passed right now, the laws. International financial organizations could do so, since they already have established governance standards and some experience in making international transfers to and from central banks. And you guys have heard, Jamie Dimon say, we missed out. Like, we could have built it ourselves, but we didn't. And that's what they're saying right here, saying well-established governance standards, these institutions could do it themselves. Another question is whether the public or private sector should be or will be involved. Like, they're telling you they will be. Like, remember what I've told you guys, right? When we covered all these PDFs, remember what I said? They're telling you the future without telling you the future. While the most efficient and socially desirable setup may be debated, the private sector is rapidly building this infrastructure. And guess what? That is Ripple. They're the leader. I'm not a maxi. I just lay out the facts. I hold Bitcoin. I hold Chainlink. I hold a lot of coins. But XRP, given my financial background, when I saw this thing, I've told you guys, I've worked in a regulated industry for 10 years in the banking system. And when I first saw XRP in 2017, I was like, this is going to be insane. And that is why I have a channel just dedicated to XRP. Like, we are not speculators. We are very intelligent researchers that understand what's coming. And you guys are researchers as well. I'm speaking on behalf of you, because you guys are out here doing the research together. Like, you may not be physically doing it, but you're doing it here, okay? That's what's most important. And, okay, so now we get ready, okay? I want you guys to really understand this whole liquidity concept. And let's go to this picture right here. Remember at the top, the XRP ledger. And if you just remove those letters, that label of XRP ledger, behind it is the heartbeat, which is XRP, okay? Please try to understand this for the love of God. Every single thing connected to this board, every transaction, every swap, every settlement runs on that heartbeat. And here's where it gets insane. Right in the middle, you have OUSG, right? That is BlackRock's tokenized US treasuries, a product that is going to be backed by trillions of dollars. And it's not theory. BlackRock is not a startup. This is the biggest asset manager on the planet putting its product into a settlement web.
There is a need, whether it's a Libra or something else, to democratize the exchange of foreign currencies. I don't think we need to create a new currency, but the technology to instantaneous calibrate all the currencies, that should be done.
To the left, you have RLUSD, Ripple's dollar stablecoin. And remember, issued directly on the XRPL, fully integrated with the same network. This is your on-ledger cash leg. To the right, you have Nexus 24/7, the always-on institutional switchboard, pretty much what they're looking at right now. And underneath it, the heavyweights. You have Goldman Sachs, Citi, JP Morgan. These aren't maybe connections. These are the actual endpoints for real-world institutional money flows. And that is why I've been telling you guys that this crypto ecosystem has not seen real economic value come in yet. And when it does, it is going to get disgusting. Okay? It is going to get absolutely insane what happens here. Fireworks left, right, and center. Here is what you're looking at. Tokenized treasuries from BlackRock, on-ledger cash from Ripple, major banks plugged in 24/7, all of it on the XRP ledger with XRP as the native bridge. Here's how this plays out in a live action. Goldman Sachs wants to move OUSG to Citi in exchange for RLUSD. XRP, the ledger, finds the path. If there's no deep direct liquidity, If there's no deep direct liquidity, the XRP ledger auto bridging kicks in. So what would happen is OUSG, XRP, or LUSD, all in one transaction, final in seconds. JPM needs instant collateral. They liquidate OUSG into RLUSD, and again, XRP bridges the gap if needed. 24/7 liquidity routing, institutional scale, no downtime. And here's the key. Stablecoins like RLUSD are pegged. Tokenized treasuries like OUSG are pegged. They don't settle between each other on their own. They need a neutral bridge asset, and XRP is built into the core to do that exact same thing. And here's why this bad boy doesn't have a cycle. Remember, I've talked about this. I want you guys to engrave this. It's not a retail hype coin. It's a liquidity utility for the entire network. As the network grows, as more banks plug in, as more assets get tokenized, the demand for XRP scales with it. This isn't about market swings. This is about an ever-expanding liquidity web targeting over $100 trillion in flows. Remember, treasury markets, FX settlements, corporate payments, security lending, trade finance, derivatives. Every single one of these can settle on the XRP ledger with XRP as the liquidity engine. This whiteboard isn't a random meeting note. Remember that. This is what they're talking about. This is the blueprint. The end game for the network is designed to absorb every major market it touches. And when this goes live at scale, there is no waiting for the next bull run. There's only more value, more demand, and more value moving through XRP. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But please understand, this is not, you say whatever you want to say, because at the end of the day, I care for a little bit and then I stop caring because I know in the long tail of things, I'm right. And as much as that might agitate some people saying, this goof is talking about $3.18 currently, he's saying he's right about $100 XRP. Guess what? It's backed by research and knowledge. So at the end of the day, there's something that money cannot buy. I've always told you guys that, right? You can go to Walmart, you can go to CVS, you can go to a grocery store. Guess what? You'll never find it in any aisle. And that is patience. And that is something that you have to discipline yourself, right? You have to understand the bigger scope of things. Remember the famous saying, if you bought right, you hold tight. And when you just zoom out from a macro perspective, without me even trying to map this out in terms of how these digital assets are going to get used, look at the macro, right? This crypto ecosystem is $4 trillion. It is going to go to 10. It is going to go to 20. It is going to go to 30. It is going to go to 40. The macro perspective on this, who's going to absorb all those capitals coming in? Guess what? The utility tokens that are going to be utilized in this next wave. Oh man, when you just know, you know, there's no, like I said earlier in the video, right? I am not an XRP maxi. The reason why I created a video dedicated to XRP is because XRP is truly the Bitcoin 2.0, right? Bitcoin is that Napster. I hold Bitcoin, you just got to be transparent. Just say it. I don't understand why people cannot just all come together and understand these digital assets they serve different use cases, but why put each other down, right? I love this whole dedicated channel to XRP because once you really understand this, there is really no going back. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're holding an asset that is going to be here for decades. It is going to outlive you. Okay, just make sure you give it to your family before something happens to you, or you have plans if something happens to you with all the XRP that you have. Okay, this is not a dream. I want you guys to understand, if you guys haven't had, enormous wealth or even a lot of money never before, and this is your first time kind of having something like this, you did this, right? You as a human understood this and you went balls deep. And all I gotta say is congratulations. I don't think you guys saw me kind of going lunatic back November when XRP was at 50, 60 cents saying, hey, listen guys, something big is about to happen. The same thing's happening, but this time it's going to be like, you know, it's like a full salute. It is a congratulations. So with that being said, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think in today's episode. BlackRock is gonna, it's crazy. Like Ripple is working with BlackRock, right? So, and people want to deny it.
It's very different, and I've been out in Silicon Valley for about 20 years. The thing that's very different about what's happening now versus the dot-com bubble is the dot-com bubble, it was the institutional investors who were in, and then retail came on top and priced things up. The exact opposite has happened here. You have retail and kind of speculative interest already in the market, and now you have institutional money starting to come in.
It started with a vision, now it's spreading wide. SLT's the token, it's our Degen pride. 24 hours crypto, leading the call. Bringing XRP believers, united we stand tall. First ledger's on fire, trades like the scene. SLT's the movement, power in the dream. From the memes to the moon, we're making it real. 100 XRP, that's the deal. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. This ain't just a token, it's a battle cry. For those who know, XRP will fly high. Salute is the name, SLT the ticker. First ledger's buzzing, trades getting quicker. Building the future, brick by brick. In a world powered by Ripple, the vision will stick. We're more than a meme, it's a movement strong. XRP believers, let's prove them wrong. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. 24 hours crypto, the captain of the crew. SLT's the anthem, for the bold and true. Through the dips and the pumps, we stand and fight. Believing in the ledger, in the dawn's bright light. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. So raise your SLT, let the world hear the sound. XRP believers, we're Ripple bound. From the memes to the charts, the vision is clear. Salute to the future, the time is near. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.